So I'm going to show you how to speed up Davinci Resolve. So let's go. So the first thing you want to do if Davinci Resolve is slow is to reduce the number of windows you have open. So here I have a simple project and I have two windows open simultaneously. So what I want to do is to use a single viewer mode. So go to Workspace and click on single viewer mode. This will help reduce the amount of things that are being displayed on your screen. The second way to improve that is to reduce the number of panels that are being rendered when you're running your program. So for example, now I have the media pool. So I'm going to close that by just clicking on the name at the top. And I also have the effects page. I'll just click on that effect. And now I just have a simple window where I can work with. Now, these are not technical workarounds. It's just a workaround to improve the memory. So the second way to improve DaVinci Resolve is if you have a fusion effect applied to your videos, you can disable those fusion effects by going over here to the top where you have that color wheel icon and clicking on that. That's going to disable any fusion effect you have on your video clip. So when you're not ready to render, make sure you turn off the fusion effect. Now, another trick I like using is when I have an effect applied to the entire clip, I tend to cut the video clip. So for example, here I have this section and I have this section and I also have this section of the video. And these are three sections. So when I'm working with a particular section, I disable the sections I'm not working with. So here, if I select these two sections and hit D, that's going to disable the video clip. So Resolve is only going to render the section I'm working with. To bring it back, just hit the letter D and you enabled your clip back. So again, if I select this beginning clip, hold Control and select the last clip, I can hit D to disable both edges. And now I'm just left with this clip in the middle that I'm working with. If I apply that by disabling the fusion effect, and I just zoom in a little bit, you can actually see I'm only rendering this part or shadow right here in the center. Right. So disable any clips you're not using. If you have audio on your clip, I'll just quickly enable that. If your clip has audio, you might also decide to mute the audio to prevent the audio from, playing as well. That might improve your memory. Here, I'll just hit on mute track and everything here is muted on this track. So another way to really improve the quality of DaVinci Resolve is if you record in 4K, editing in 4K is going to be memory intensive, even if you have a powerful system. So what I advise you doing is to lower the resolution, lower the quality, or lower the resolution. How do we do that? Well, go over to the gear icon at the bottom right. Here where it says the timeline resolution, that's the resolution of your video. Let's go over here and set this to a HD resolution. So I'll set this to 1280 by 720 resolution since this is a landscape video, and I'll just hit save for now. What this is going to do is to ensure that we're working with HD. Even though our video is recorded in 4K, we're now working in HD. That means the quality of our video has been reduced, which will improve how fast it's being rendered. Now, there's also another way to reduce the quality of the video. So if we go to our playback and where it says timeline and playback resolution, instead of playing your resolution in full, change this to quarter. This means you're playing your video in a quarter of the actual resolution that's being loaded into memory. Basically, that means you're going to have a smoother and faster video to work with, like so. So another tip to improve DaVinci Resolve's performance is to use proxies. Now, this might sound like a complicated term, but what is a proxy? So let's say, for example, we have a 4K video that's about 4 gigabytes. Right? Or 10 gigabytes or whatever. By working with a proxy, we're going to crush down and reduce the size of that video, but it's going to reference the original video. So we have one video that's your proxy video, low quality, low memory, and you have the original large, high volume, high memory video. DaVinci Resolve is going to map these two together. So while you're working with the low quality, low resolution, low megabyte video, if you cut this video, automatically Davinci Resolve is going to say, hey, update that cut to this original video. To create a proxy file, I'll bring back the media pool. You select the video you want to reduce or turn into the proxy. This time around, it's your videos you imported. I'll just right click on that. And here, where it says proxy media, I'm just going to say generate proxy media. Resolve is going to do its magic, and it's going to reduce the quality of our video clip. When it's done doing that, what you need to do next is to go over here to the top and say prefer proxies. Basically, what that means is you're telling Davinci Resolve that you want to work with the proxy video, which is a low quality version of your video. You want to work with the proxy, not the original video. So I'll give this a few seconds to load. Once it's done, you're going to see a nice purple icon with the word PXY on it. So I'll go over here at the top right, click that button and say prefer proxies. Now we actually see we're working with a proxy of that original video, which will most likely improve your performance because you're not working with the highest resolution directly. And when you're done and you're about to render, what you need to do is to set this back to high quality or prefer your camera originals, and you'll be good to go. And Resolve is going to remap this low quality video with the high quality resolution video. Now, another tip to optimize Davinci Resolve is to invest in an external SSD drive that has a lot of space. Now, if you have 2 terabytes SSD, set your project workspace to this SSD. By doing that, you're not going to be working on your local drive, your drive C or drive D or E, but rather you're working on a fast solid state drive. An SSD is faster than your regular hard drive. So trust me, using an external SSD connected to your system not only helps you back up your information, but it also helps you optimize how Davinci Resolve is reading and loading memory. Remember, you have Resolve installed on your computer. If you're accessing memory on the same location, that might tend to be a bit slower, but having an SSD or a solid state external drive that has a lot of space, at least 512 gigabyte or 1 terabyte, that's actually a better option to use. So let's move on. Now we've set the proxies right over here. If I go to the media pool, we've seen how we can set our proxy files, but sometimes you want to set the proxies to be of very low resolution. So let's do that. So I go over here to the gear icon. So over here under, if we just drag down like so, we'd actually see optimize media and render cache. This is where we'll set things to like quarter. We'll set our proxy media format to DNxHR. LQ, LQ means low quality. We need to drag down a bit. So for LB, low bandwidth. And this is going to be our compression when we're creating our proxy files. Now, again, if you have an external SSD, you can set your working folder to that external SSD folder. And finally, to wrap up, if we go over to click on Davinci Resolve itself and go to the preferences under media storage, this is where you can set the first media storage location. So if you've plugged in an SSD, a fast SSD, and it's here, you can actually use that. And then what I like to do is to select this proxy subfolders in media file locations. So if my media file is here, my proxy files are also going to be here. So I hope this has helped you understand how you can optimize Davinci Resolve. These are things I do to improve my workflow, and it's actually helped me work a bit faster. So let me know if this helps. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. See you in the next tutorial.